I'm David from actioncinema.com, martial arts action cinema. And it looks like Van just joined us right now. Looks like
Excellent. My two best friends in the whole world doing interview with me. It's the best. Today is a great day.
That's awesome,
Love it.
man.
Well, I mean, thank you for all your support though throughout the years. I really appreciate that.
Oh no, thank you. I mean, I'm just a fan, man. I created this.
We're all fans. We're all just fans. I mean, we're just lucky to be able to do what we love to do, but we're all a bunch of fanboys, really.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's so awesome to just get to sit here and talk to you guys. It's kind of surreal, actually. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey Van.
Hello, Van.
Hello.
Hello. We can't see you.
I know.
Okay.
Just grabbing dinner at the moment.
But we want you to see your mouth full of food.
Really? Is it okay?
Yeah. Why is it not okay? I mean,
okay.
Unless you're uncomfortable.
I don't want to be rude.
No, you know. I'm just making me hungry.
All right. Hello, Van. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get started. I mean, Philip, I mean, you just said like this is you get to do this with all your close friends, like, you know, like I know you guys are like close friends in real life. So how fun was it, you know, to film this project with your best
I hate these guys. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I only got them because they're famous. They're famous and they're good looking. That's the only reason I work with these guys. Makes me jealous sometimes that, you know, they're so good looking and so skilled. But now I'm just, you know, that's just the truth. I mean, let me tell you what I'm supposed to say. I met these guys on a film called Star Runner. I'm sure maybe you heard of it.
Yeah.
And it's a first for a lot of us. You know, it was the first time that Van played the lead in a big action movie, because he kind of just came out of Meteor Garden, a very famous TV drama from Taiwan, and he was in a boy band, the first boy band in the world. You know, super well received at the time. And then it was the first time. No, and then it was, and Andy, he won the best newcomer award for the first time. The only time. And then because, you know, first, you know, newcomer award, you only win that once. I've been saying that joke for every interview, so I was saying that. And then and for me, it was the first time that I got hired as an assistant action choreographer. I was a stuntman before, but it was the first time I did a gig as one of the choreographers, and I was in charge of training these two gentlemen because I spoke English, and I had, you know, Andy was super tough already. I just kind of hung out with him, and Van, he's super tough, but he needed to learn how to do Wing Chun and Hong Koon really well. So I was in charge of doing that, and you know, we hung out every day. It was a first for all of us, so it was like, you know, like when you're all freshmen in a high school, you know, you all get real close together, and our friendship stayed, you know, and grew ever since. And then and we always talked about, you know, putting a movie together, like all three of us, and kind of paying homage to movies that we love from the 80s and 90s Hong Kong. And then you know, I mean, I'm very vocal about it. And during one of the movies that I made, the producer on there, Charlie Wong, and he's like, yo, you have an idea for a movie, you know, with your brothers? I'm like, yeah, we want to do something like this. And then that's how the ball got rolling. And then when it started happening, I asked these two guys, and you know, I didn't expect them to say no. So, you know, they jumped on board, and you know, and I think we had a lot of fun doing it. You know, it was I think all three of us, I think, you know, as much stress as we went through, I think the thing we can say was we had a lot of creative freedom. It was the most creative freedom I think any of us ever had on a movie, both creatively behind the scenes and in front of the camera. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
interview over. I said everything.
I mean, it does look like you guys had a blast on the film. Like, it looks like you're actually hanging out with your friends, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Andy, Venice, how does it feel to you know, work with Philip, you know, on this film?
I mean, I worked with.
Hated it.
Right?
No, I mean, oh, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Here you go. Here you go.
I got food in my mouth.
I'm just hungry. You're making me hungry. I haven't ate yet.
Oh.
No, working with, you know, I worked with Phil a lot of times. Van, we worked probably two times in a movie, right? And then and Punch and Gun was our third. So, you know, going to work with these guys is not like going to work. It's like you're going to go play. You know,
Right.
not even chill, hang out.
Yeah, I think for us, it's like right when we see each other, the work aspect lessens for some reason. and it's just nice to see a familiar face that you're really comfortable with, and you just, you know, there isn't really like, oh, I gotta go to work today. It's like, oh, I get to go see Phil and Andy and hang out and act stupid and tell stupid jokes, and you know, it's kind of like what we do. And
when the camera's not rolling.
Yeah, when the camera's not rolling. And even if it gets stressful though, but it's like we're there for each other, you know. There's definitely moments when I saw Phil struggling, and because he's wearing so many hats at the same time, and the only thing I could do is just like tell him like, hey, you got this, kind of thing. It's all good, and you're doing great. You're doing great, Phil. You just keep at, you know. But
kept boosting my ego.
Yeah. But it's, yeah, I mean, that's what makes it so fun.
That's cool. I mean, I was gonna get to that too, with it's such a great job with Philip with his the action direction in this film. Was it a challenge to like take on double duties, being the lead and the action director?
That wasn't that tough, because I mean, it was tough, but I mean, I could handle it because I've done it before, as the lead and as the choreographer. Actually, I almost prefer that, because I think I designed my own action better for myself, and then when I'm in charge of the action, I can kind of make sure the whole design of the action scene gets kept when it's in the movie. But the hardest part for me was I had to wear the producer hat. That was the roughest part. And like I said, it was an arduous journey from beginning to end, and from like concept to finished product and post-production. It was rough. I mean, I lost a lot of weight. You watch me, like, as I get shrunk as the movie progresses. I broke 2 ribs. Andy broke 2 of my ribs. I had dysentery and I was puking, and at the end of the movie, it was really tough for me. But like I said, I mean, like Van said, we're there for each other. No matter how tough it got, you get to the set, you see these 2 guys, we're joking around, having fun, and it made everything a lot easier. But it was a dream that we wanted to fulfill, and we were able to do it. So that's something.
Like, what would you guys say would be the toughest scene to shoot on this film? But just to say, like, my personal favorite was Van's knife fight. That was awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people like that scene. That was Gordon, one of the producers on our show. That was his favorite scene too.
So what would your
you got to credit Van for that, though. It was Van's idea to use the butterfly, the Bella song, because I mean, actually, we had a lot of freedom to do anything. Like, they would ask me, "Yo, Phil, can I do this?" I'm like, would your character do this? And what do you want to do? And then they're like, okay. Because, I mean, they're so pro, right? I mean, they know what to do. It's not their first rodeo. They understand their character, and I trust them, and I know them so well to kind of go with it. And then you talk about the knife fight scene. That has a lot to do with Van.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, and also, like, when I see, like, at the end of the film, you did some Jackie Chan style outtakes at the end. Would you say I would assume like all 3 of you did most of your own stunts?
I can't afford doubles, so not with these 2 guys' extravagant salaries.
Yeah. So with the whole car scene, like with Van doing that the crazy parkour and everything, was that all Van?
It was all Van, yeah. I mean, I would have to say it was 98% Van, 98%. Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Big props to you, Van. That's awesome, man. And well, Andy, I mean, you've played a lot of heroes and villains throughout your careers. What would you say would you prefer playing more, the villain or the hero?
I've always liked the bad guy character.
Right.
It's just something that you can have wild imaginations and how to create the character, and just have a lot of room to be what you're not usually, So that's always.
It looks like you had a lot of fun, like playing the villain, by the way, especially on the film too.
It was super fun. It was like, like I said, it was just not going to work. It was just going to hang out, and then we had Phil gave us a lot of freedom to do whatever we want. So
yeah, those moments were kind of cool when all of a sudden you're doing something, and afterwards you hear Philip laugh, like, "Oh my God, why'd you do that?" Like he'll say it in a way.
There's 2 distinctive scenes, one from each guy, that made me laugh a lot. I mean, not to. Can we talk about spoilers a little bit?
Why not? we're already here.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think the last podcast kind of gave away the whole movie. So, but anyways, I mean, like, there's a scene where, like, we're confronting Andy, and Andy makes he ad libs. I mean, we're like, yo, just ad lib, just say stuff, and there's a joke that he made. It was hard for me not to laugh, and it made it into a trailer in Asia. It's a funny joke. It's something about like unfriending me on social media or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And that got such a laugh on the set and even in the trailer. And it's just like stuff like that. That's Andy. I mean, Andy's a funny dude, and he has so many comebacks, and like when he gets angry or something, or he doesn't like your butt, or something you did, he will rip on you, and you will have nothing left. And he brought some of that in that movie, and it was great. And for Van, another point, that one thing that he did that cracked me up, and it was hard to keep it together in the set, was when I relocated my shoulder, and I did that scream, and Ness he made that painful sound. I don't know if you remember which scene I'm talking about, when I relocated my shoulder.
Yeah. It's that Lethal Weapon moment.
And then but then, I was like, when he did it, it was hard. It was hard for me to keep it together. So yeah, man, these guys it's great. I mean, I've never done a movie where I can have those moments where, like, my buddies and people I'm working with just ad lib, and it's so funny. It was a blessing.
Yeah, that's great, man. Like, I know all three of you have worked with the great Donnie Yen and on previous projects. Van, of course, most recently in Ip Man 4. Can you guys talk a little bit about your experience working with a legend like Donnie, and what you've learned to carry on, as the next generation of martial arts stars, as you guys are?
I think Andy worked the most.
I want to
with,
say something.
Donnie.
I want to say something. I think working with Donnie was great, and then but the thing with Donnie is, like, he's also a great director, and I think Phil is probably the most like Donnie out of all of us, because he knows how to direct, knows how to edit, he knows all that stuff like Donnie does. And
but thank you, Andy. That's very sweet.
It's the truth.
I mean, I appreciate it every time. As actors, like I said earlier, sometimes our self-esteem gets really low. So doing these interviews and everything makes me feel better about myself. I can go on another day.
Like, because Phil, like, you've done like two films with Donnie, but then they're more like cameo roles. So
yeah,
is there any because
we know Donnie, because we know Donnie outside of just making movies. I think you learn the most with more in that instance, and I think just you learn the most, because I've known him for quite a long time. Just we got more close, later on as my career progressed. But he's one of my all-time idols in terms of, like, the way that he choreographs, the way that he hits. And then some other people have noticed that they mentioned, like, the way that I choreograph is, like, a lot of power hits and everything. I mean, I take that from him. And then but I think it's just his perseverance, because if you look at his career from beginning to end, but beginning to now, I mean, like, how it went up and down and everything, but he kept persevering, and he had a very specific style that he knew that the audience would like if he persevered and did more movies in that vein. So I think for me, like, learning the most is kind of watching the way his career path has taken.
And Van, well, how's your experience like working with Donnie on Man?
That was great. I loved every moment of it. I think I got the tail end of it where, he was very more relaxed, because he's, I'm sure, really well known as being very strict and very, I'll just say strict on set at times. And
he's very tough on set. He's very tough. He's
very tough on set. He wants everything done to a certain degree. But you good? Okay. Sorry, that was my dad. But on set, he was lovely. He was just so lovely. He went out of his way to have conversation with me. I'm just like, this is Donnie Yen. And then the fact that, he's talking to me, and I think it was good that he knew Phil and Andy, and kind of like introduced me that way, and kind of softened the blow of whatever. And so he was always just great to me. And the fact that they even wanted me for the part for Hitman 4, I was like, what? Okay, that's cool.
You killed it though. You did a good job.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, I had fun. It was great fun.
Mm-hmm. Like Philip, with the two films that you've done with Donnie, I mean, when
I've actually done more with Donnie actually, but you probably didn't know I was in those movies.
Yeah, maybe. You know, like in the whole martial arts, you know, action film community, when we heard, you know, Philip, that you were going to be in Chasing the Dragon and enter the Fat Dragon, we were like, oh my God, we're finally going to get to see Philip, you know, taking on Donnie on screen, you know.
And then you were disappointed.
Everyone was like, what the hell happened? Like, what did you...
Well, I mean, you know, like Enter the Fat Dragon, I got called in literally last minute, and then they're like, hey, they're like, Donnie wants you to help out. I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever Donnie says, Donnie gets. So I would go in, and it was just it doesn't matter what you get, you know. It's like being on set with my idol was just pleasure, and it's just a pleasure, and not even that. It's like it doesn't matter how much how far I get in my career. I'll always be a fanboy. So every time I work with these guys or I see these guys, I have to hold in my pee. I might pee myself because I'm so excited. And then, like, you know, Kenji, right? He was on the set and he was doing the Kenshin series. And another advantage of being in this industry and being in this position is like he showed me all the pre-visits. He showed me all the scenes like pre-cut. Like, you know, he was like, look, Phil, this is, you know, what it looks like. And it's, as a fanboy, that's like being on a set, that's enough. That's already enough. But in Chasing the Dragon, I think it was supposed to be longer. It was supposed to be a bigger sequence, and my character was supposed to last longer. But you know, as these things happen, you know, slowly the script changes. Certain things are more important than my character, my cameo. And things got cut out, but it's fine though. Like I said, it's always a pleasure being on a set with him. And then I remember there's a scene when we did in Chasing the Dragon, and he was holding me. We're holding each other, and we're talking about the past works that we've done in the past, and he's like, yo, he used to work for TVB. He did like some TV shows in the past, and I was working for TVB at the time. And he's like, well, you've seen all those shows, Phil? How come you've seen all my stuff? And I was like, okay, Donnie, actually, I've seen all your shit. I've seen everything. You know, like these moments only happen when you're able to work with these guys. So yeah, it's crazy, surreal.
That's great, man. I mean, as fans, you know, we are looking forward. You know, maybe on future projects, maybe you'll have a bigger role in the Donnie Yen film. We're dying to see you guys. Yeah, we're dying to see you guys going at it on screen because, you know.
Yeah, I want to get kicked more by him. It's an honor.
Well, if you guys could, like, each one of you, if you could name one martial arts film that you could watch over and over without getting tired of, which film would you say it would be?
Drunken Master 1.
I like
2, right?
Andy liked 2. Andy's favorite movie was 2. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tough, man.
Yeah, Drunken Master 2 is a lot of favorites, a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah. I like 1 the most. I can watch that now, like right now.
Any martial arts movie, wow, I don't know. That's too hard.
I mean, it's hard for me too, man.
Project A.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I can't. Yeah, I don't get sick of that either.
That's pretty cool. So all Jackie Chan, right?
Well, I kind of grew up with that era.
Right.
You know, Shaolin Temple, that was always good too.
Well, they're always good. I mean, name all of them are good, right? I mean, but like just the ones that influenced me the most. I remember like my parents renting the first Drunken Master, and then, you know, there used to be VHS. We dubbed the dub, you know, and I watched that so much. I think the tape almost exploded. It was very influential for me, that movie.
Well, Philip, when they announced Shang-Chi, the Marvel film, did you audition or anything? Because fans.
I think we all did.
Because fans are going crazy. They're saying Philip would have been perfect for Shang-Chi.
I agree, but you know, what can you do?
Oh man.
I mean, look at the poster in the back. Do you see this poster? That's the Shang-Chi poster.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, I've been reading comics since I was, because when I went to America, when I immigrated to America when I was younger, I mean, you know, I had no friends, right? My only friend was like Spider-Man and Batman. I mean, you know, DC and Marvel. I used to read that stuff like crazy, and I remember when I was a kid, I got this. My parents bought me this book. It was like the Marvel Universe, like encyclopedia, but I only got like one volume. It was like on the S. So there was like Spider-Man and Shang-Chi, and I was like, oh man, if they ever made a movie like this, someone else would do it. No, but I mean, congrats to him. I mean, congrats to the guy who got it. And I hope he does a great job.
I had lunch with Simo, and he's actually a huge fan of Star Runner.
No,
he was
really?
actually talking about Star Runner.
Did you just say that because you're having lunch? Do you pay for lunch? Is that why?
No. He literally, he said it like before I even met him, and we had a chat on Clubhouse, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it! I watched Star Runner so many times." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Okay." That was yeah. So he likes your work too, Phil.
I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Star Runner, man.
Do you guys have any plans to work together again on another project? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, everything that I'm like I said, I'm developing projects right now, and everything that I develop either has one or the other, or both. So I mean, you'll see us together sooner than later, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, the chemistry shows that you guys have good, such good friendship in real life. The chemistry definitely show on screen. So we hope you guys work together again as well. And I love the film, and it's going to be out June 8th on digital, Blu-ray and DVD via Wellgo USA, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And one last thing, Van. My wife Jessica, she's such a huge fan of yours since your F4 days. And if you could just say hi, Jessica, and I can show her this video, it'll make the day for real.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you for all your support, and God bless you, and hope you enjoy our movie that we did together. Philip did an amazing job. So did Andy, and I did not too bad myself.
You did great.
You guys did awesome, and thank you so much, Phil, Andy, and Van, for your time, and keep on kicking butt. Can't wait for your next projects.
Thanks, David.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
你签了之后，就可以做回一名真正的警察。这个案子还没有完。你演黑社会演的那么像，我怎么知道你是卧底？买我送他。